why did you come up with the coffee name First Fruits Specialty Coffee? Why? Why that?
Yeah. Oh.
You can say.
So it has kind of multiple meanings. Like basically the reason that we kind of come up with it is that it's from the Bible. So the first fruits were the offered to God because they were the best of the harvest, and so it kind of applies to coffee being like a crop. So it's the best of the harvest.
That's unreal. Okay.
Yeah, and then we're the first fruits of the new covenant, which is Christ.
Yep. You came up with that name. Why did you guys start a coffee shop? Like it's. Yeah. Why? What got you into it in the first place? What got you interested?
Yeah,
in it?
sure. That was kind of my fault, eh?
Yes.
I was actually in the army for 8 years.
8 years.
8 years, yeah, and I went through the medical discharge process, and I kind of got some pretty bad damage to my knees and my back and things like that. And during that process, I got moved. Our battalion's pretty famous, and so I got moved into the pub attached to the battalion to rehabilitate. And there was a coffee machine in there, and I was like, oh, like what's this about? And had a bit of a play on it, and just got like obsessed with it, kind of thing. Managed to be able to kind of take over the club, and I think just because I started to just make little changes and get excited about it, like the place grew from like 15 kilo a week to 55 kilo a week.
55 kilos?
In like 6 months.
Of coffee?
Of coffee, yeah. And that was all between a 2-hour period, 5 days a week. So like, I think those rush periods that we had at that location were probably like one of the busiest cafes in Brisbane at the time. Just
So
like
it was just
rows
on
and
an
rows
army
of-
base. No one can get access to it except if you're a defence member, and it was just.
Yeah.
That's unreal. That's hectic.
Fantastic, yeah. So I'd have 4 other injured soldiers on the coffee machine, and I'd have one out the front making bacon egg sandwiches. And so everyone would rock up at 8:30. They'd have to be back on parade at 9:30. So it'd just be like this
1 hour.
One
of
hour.
power kind of time, mate.
That's unreal, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
unheard of. 55 kilos in 2 hour days.
2 hour days, yeah. It was pretty nice.
So that would have taught you a lot.
Yeah,
on how to be effective or.
Yeah, that's right. And it, like such a blessing, like because I'd actually stationed myself on the end of the coffee machine. So all I was doing was pouring coffee, putting the lid on, and handing them out and sending them out. And so they actually practiced latte art like every single time, like a huge amount of volume of stuff, just because it was all like how we in like a period. Yeah, it was really great stuff for sure.
So in the army pub, that's where he was able to learn about this exciting, never-ending, complex world of coffee that you could learn. There's never an end to it. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Once you think you know everything, then the industry changes, or you find another dimension to coffee that you didn't know about. And yeah, so he got into baristering first, and then roasting. So just started roasting coffee on like a popcorn popper that he like
all of them.
Yeah, changed it, and so that he could roast coffee, and then hot top, and then continued on with that journey and trying to learn more and better himself. And
What a crazy journey.
Yeah, that's been fun. It's been a fun couple of years.
So how did you get into this then? Obviously you followed his passion.
Followed
And
him.
what made you love coffee? Because the way you described it, shows you got this passion for this industry too.
Yeah, I think the complexity of it, and that it's like people come together over coffee. Like even before we were into coffee, we were into going places and hanging out with friends and eating food. And so the thought of having a place where people can come and meet, and we get to talk to people, and just those small interactions with customers are, like what makes the day exciting, because it's a wonderful thing to share life over, and it's complex and interesting, and there's never an end to it. So when the cafe is at a stage, we want to be able to go to coffee growing nations and then be able to be part of that stage of the coffee process. And you can never get to a point where I've reached my career goals. I've reached a stage where I can't really advance any further. Once we get to somewhere where we think we're stable, then we could just add a whole new dimension.
Dimension.
Yeah, and so
It's funny because she didn't realise how much she liked it until recently. Like, we just had our third child, so our third child's only 6 months old.
Congratulations.
Oh no, thank you. And she was off on like maternity leave, and she was like, I really miss being in the cafe.
I do. I really miss being able to just talk to people each day, and you know.
It's a different industry, eh? It's completely different. Now tell us, now that you've got three kids, how do you juggle that? Running a business too? Because you have another espresso bar as well, which is beautiful, by the way. So how do you do that? How do you get to be an entrepreneur as well as run a business and have children? And
lots of family support.
Family support.
Yeah. Both my parents and Daniel's parents are on the Gold Coast, and they are our lifeblood. They love our children and they love us, and they help, and we've got a good community childcare as well that the two older ones go to, and it's just a community of support. I don't know how people do it. Like if they don't have that around them, we are so blessed to have such a great community of people around us.
And that's what I've been trying to touch base a lot with people as well. That community is what builds our businesses.
For sure.
Like a coffee shop won't succeed if you don't have the community backing you up.
Absolutely.
And in turn, because you've got support from the community, you try and help the community as much as you can.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
You know, you support with work, for staff, local, and
definitely. And we've been so blown away by how much stuff has happened in our cafes. Like we've had like bands form, and we've had like businesses we create. We've had like famous sports stars create companies over meetings in our cafes, kind of thing. Like
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Like to think about like this kind of space is like it's like a centralized hub where a lot of people from different kind of areas are doing different things, but it's all kind of in here. So it's really cool to see and watch and to kind of be a part of. It's exciting.
It is. It would be. Now, because you guys are so well established here for like, how long you guys have been here so far?
8 months.
In this new premises.
Yeah, this new premise. Yeah.
And in total, in the coffee.
Our Ashmore store is 2 and a bit years old.
Yeah, 3 years in June.
3 years in June.
Yeah.
September.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, 3 years in September.
Yeah.
So 2.5 nearly, eh? Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so say, what advice would you give to somebody that's about to start in this industry?
For sure. Be different. Like you can't. You need to follow good business practice and don't make decisions which sacrifice your profits. But you need to also have a point of difference. Like you need to have a reason that people are going to come. Like the Gold Coast is the most saturated cafe market in Australia. Like we need to have a reason that consumers are going to come to us rather than the absolute plethora of other cafes like all in the area. Like we need to have a reason. Like we need to be different. Which is, I think, one of the things that we've been able to achieve, and we've been able to educate customers on what they're receiving, and it actually gets them more and more excited for new things and what we can produce.
So what makes you guys different?
Sure, I think a bunch of different things. Like if you come into the shop on the bar, we always have at least 2 different coffees that you can drink as espresso. Normally, like 3 to 4. We have coffees that are like $20 a cup and $10 a cup, and coffees that you really don't normally get to experience as a consumer. Like you only really get to experience these coffees if like you're competing in coffee competitions. But we have them in the bar and they're in both of the cafes on the if you want to go and try them, you can taste them, kind of thing. And I think that's one thing, and it's also that because we have that quality, we also want to share with consumers where it comes from, because like I think that, like myself included, like I had no idea what coffee was before I was into it. Like it was a beverage I drank every single day, and I really had very little knowledge about what it takes to bring a consumer a cup of coffee. Like it's such a massively long journey that it takes to kind of get to us. And if a customer wants to hear it, it's really exciting to be able to share that. Yeah.
I vouch for that, because when I came in here, all of a sudden the knowledge that your baristas have on the coffee, from where it comes from, the roast profiles, the flavors that come into it, it's huge.
Yeah, definitely. And that's also them getting really excited about it. Like that's not me being like, here's all the documents you have to learn. Like they get excited and go, oh, what's this? And we all kind of like are on a bit of a journey together, like discovering different things about different coffees. Yeah, so it's all that for the most part is actually completely self-motivated. Like they're really excited to continue to learn about coffee, and that's basically why we employ passionate people who want to basically follow our vision for the company, which is let's kind of grow together and learn more as we go.